Ashlee Margolis.
Taylor Stein.
What a treat to have you here.
It's a treat to be here. Yeah. I love it. And you look great. Taylor Stein looks fine, baby. Taylor Stein
Listen,
looks
I've
great.
known you since you were a baby.
Long time.
Before, so let me tell the audience a little bit about you. You are the founder of the A-List,
Yep.
which is one of the most prominent, iconic
marketing
companies in this town right now.
I love it.
And you've been doing it for a long time. You're a young lady and you've been doing it for a long time.
I've been star fucking for about 25 years.
How does it feel?
Feels good. I really love to fuck those stars.
I missed that moment. I got the musicians and I got the New Yorkers, but I never got that high life in LA.
Well, I worked for Laura Schriftman, which is how we met, and I learned everything working for her. And she had like a PR company, big PR company, and then I left and I went to pursue a talk show career because I wanted to be a talk show host. I wanted to interview celebs and do roving reporter and man on the street and have a studio audience and the whole thing. And I left to pursue a talk show career. And in the meantime, some clients heard that I left and they're like, we heard you left. We want to get product on celebrities. And my girlfriend, who was running PR at Coach, said, will you start sending Coach bags to celebs? Will you bring them in the Coach store? It just slowly happened organically. And I was still pursuing my talk show. But then I got a showroom. Everything kind of organically evolved. And it started as like a celebrity gifting and wrangling agency. And now we have like 25, 30 clients in a showroom. We do a ton of events. We do campaigns, partnerships, everything.
Yeah, look.
I kind of just jumped through the whole thing.
I'm glad you did.
I'm glad
you did because even though we're going to talk about your career, I want to get to something a little bit deeper about you. But
my vagina.
Don't I really want to get into that. I don't know if I ever told you this, but my old Guru Jagat, had me sign up with a woman who wanted me to talk to my vagina every day. And I said, there's just a point where you say no. And that was the point where I said no.
Yeah, that's a lot.
She's had a lot of talking for the past 3 years. We're going to give her a little
rest.
I'm going to give my lady a little rest. But anyway, I like the way you said that it was a natural progression, because don't you think in life that without like the things that occur naturally and simplistically without push really tend to work the best?
Yeah, it's so funny. I was just doing this other interview, and when I think about the A-List, it's so perfect for me because I'm a Leo. I love to give. I love to share. I love to host. I have a lot of energy. I love to introduce people to people. I love to create an energy, create a vibe. I love to host a room. I love to throw a party, all these and I'm like a true Leo. And then the A-List, what it is, it's a showroom where we're gifting people. We throw a ton of parties. We're making introductions. And it's never something that I thought I would be doing. I always wanted to produce TV or be in front of the camera and host. And it's really naturally kind of happened, and it's such a natural extension of who I am.
Well, it's more of a producer. And what's interesting that you say this is because part of the reason I wanted you on this show, because you're not the typical guest, but what I do see about you is that you've got an enormous auric field. It's enormous. In addition, you have a lot of chi, which is life force, energy that runs through you. So when you tell me that you're creating something, it makes sense to me that you're a creator, right? So that's the high energy, the auric field, all that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've noticed walking through that studio, which is enormous, by the way, and all the things you've done there, by the way, kudos, like helping the fire victims, fucking believable.
Thank you.
But there's a really enormous energetic field in there. You've got a bunch of young girls. Everyone seems happy.
Yeah.
It's a real pick-me-up. And that comes from the top down.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, some of these girls come, it's their first job. And then there's girls who come who have been at other companies. And I love when those employees come and they tell when the younger girls complain, they say, let me tell you, I've been to some other places and this is a special place. We work hard to keep the vibration high. We're working on so many projects at once, and it's kind of a lot of pressure, and you have to have a positive attitude and do it with a smile and have fun. By the way, all of this at the end of the day, I think with experience of like having 3 kids, being, living through traumatic experiences, like none of this is anything. This is just a fucking job, right? So it's like, let's just have fun. Let's do great things together. I say to some of these young girls that are like, I could see they're carrying things so heavily. And I'm like, you don't have to carry this so hard. And we're just here to do great work. I want you to have fun. I want to have fun here.
Correct.
I want to have fun at work. And I do have fun at work. And that's because we're always laughing. And I generally like wake up happy. I've always been like a happy person. So I want to have fun at work. I want to create good moments, do good things. I want to laugh. I want to be successful. And I want the energy around me. I want to have good energy around me, period. I want to be in a good energetic place.
But now here's where you differ from a lot of business owners. You have, and as long back as I've known you, maybe not from the beginning, but you have a spiritual practice.
Yeah, I wish I was more spiritual.
Well, you were, it goes up and down according to how And your sister is a sort of well-known breath worker.
Yeah, breath work, ayahuasca. Yeah,
I mean, none of this is foreign to you, and I think that. So, how do you interweave your job and consciousness? And I think you do it, and I think that's why that environment is the way it is.
Well, I have to say, like, I've been really diligent about working out every morning, whether I have to wake up at 5:30 or 6. My day, as we all know, for those
once it
people,
starts, it doesn't end. So you have to get it in the morning.
Crazy. Right. And there's nothing like, especially when I was doing the fire relief, like I was boxing like crazy, like in the morning, which wasn't meditative, but it was meditative in a way. Like, getting the energy out, and whether I'm walking, hiking, boxing, lifting weights, I will say that is like a spiritual practice for me in itself. Just working out.
Of course it is. It's moving. That's why that's what the chi is.
Moving,
it's keeping the energy running. Of course.
Moving the energy. So that's really important. I do have a ton of like healers. I have a,
you're the person that people call when
I'm
they
like
need
a
a
healer, wheeler, and dealer.
You're a healer, wheeler,
I'm
and
obsessed
dealer.
with my acupuncturist, who's a healer. She belches when she releases energy. Iris Tans. She's unbelievable. I see her every week. I see Lisa Gainsley for lymphatic as much as I can. I get massages
Lymphatic
like once a
drainage?
week. Lymphatic. She's a
Massage,
lymphatic
so she's draining,
masseuse.
right?
At the lymphatic message is her Instagram. She's unbelievable. I go in my sauna 3 or 4 times a week. Often,
is it an infrared?
It's an infrared sunlighten. I am
like
guilty of working in there. Then when my phone's about to overheat, I put it outside, and then I'm like, okay, I'll be alone.
Hey, whatever it takes, it's working.
But I have to sweat hard. I do a lot of health and wellness. I mean, I found out I have a baby thyroid cancer, which is very, very common. But because of that, since I found out, I take extra steps to take good care of myself, because I do go so hard. I've fallen off my meditation and breath work. I'm not going to lie. I've done ayahuasca twice. I'm trying to figure out my next ayahuasca. Someone just told me all about their journey on the toad. I want to try that.
That's my favorite. What's his name?
It was like a well-known actor. Of course, I'm spacing on his name.
It's okay.
I don't even know.
He might not want you to say it.
I met him like once at a party. He told me how his mom dropped dead out of nowhere. The dad commits suicide a month later. His best friend died. Like one after the other, and then he did the toad, and he was like, all the trauma gone.
100%. However, like with me when I did it, I was having this I was basically a cutter. I was scratching my arms, and I didn't know what to do. I was on so many meds. So I went to Mexico and did it. By the way, after I did it once, I never scratched my body again. But so much trauma. Like I started seeing stuff I didn't remember, memories I didn't recall. They were downloading, and it was overwhelming.
Wow.
And I didn't know where to put all that stuff for a while. So, you work it out, you work through it, you go through it, and then you feel like, holy cow, so much has been lifted from me. But it is amazing.
I'm dying to do it.
I feel like it's way more powerful than the ayahuasca.
I'm dying to do it. I love ayahuasca.
Do you do it with your husband, or you do it alone?
I did it once with my husband, once with my sister, both times in large groups.
In Topanga?
Once with my sister in Topanga, as she was leading it with other people. Once I flew with her to Oakland, where her shaman came in from Peru. And I was like in this church, and then I started, just as it started hitting
legal
me.
Then. If you did it in a shamanic church, then you got to.
I don't even know if it was a shamanic church or what. All I know is that I was looking in the mirror, it starts hitting me, and I'm like, you're a Jew. What are you doing here in this church? Like right when it started hitting me. And then I had like incredible revelations, and I loved the purge because basically one of the things that happened was I was holding in the grief of my uncle passing, and his daughter's name is Elise, his son, his name is Jarrett, his wife is named Shelly, and I just started purging, poor Shelly, poor Elise, and then for one of my best friends, her dad had passed, and I was spending time with her after, poor Anita, and like purging out that emotional stuff that was not for me to store, which could have caused greater cancer or who knows what disease.
Exactly.
So I'm like a big believer. I like the ayahuasca because I like purging out.
Right. Because when anything you hold on to grows. And that's scary. And that's why I always tell people who tend to keep their emotions in, emote. Yeah. Do your breath work. Yeah. Get it out.
Purge it out.
Because otherwise it becomes embedded in your DNA and it's stuck there and it becomes a part of you.
And I think some people need that extra help of like a medicine, a shaman to
it's not extra, it helps
barf
you
it out.
Roadmaps. Like sometimes, people will meditate for the first time and they don't know what they're supposed to feel. Yeah. Right? And so you do the medicine and it sort of gets you there from A to Z real quick. And then it's really just a bridge to something.
Yeah.
It's not an addiction. These medicines, as a matter of fact, they get rid of addictions. They help people.
Oh, 100%. I also love Carrie Gaynor, who's a hypnotherapist in LA. A lot of people see him for smoking.
I went to him, by the way.
A lot of people see him for smoking cigarettes.
The guy who's got the wig on sideways and you're in the dirty chair and you're like, I love this fucking guy. Yes,
I'm like, every time I go, there's more lice crawling up my head. The chair, I mean.
I've lost stuff in that chair.
The room hasn't changed in probably 30 years.
I love him. The wig and the toupee's on sideways. He's fantastic.
Super tan. He's unbelievable. And every time I see him, he's like, you just have to have faith. When I talk about, I'm worried about this. He's like, there's no point in worrying until there's a reason, until something happens. Okay, then you have a right.
Well, worry is a wasted emotion.
It's a wasted emotion. And he's taught me just have faith. And so for everything in life now, I feel like I'm like, just have faith and things always work out. Now, of course, they don't always work out. And there's traumatic things and scary things that happen in life and death and sickness. Okay, 100%.
Of course.
But
there's usually a lesson and something diverges. It may not be the answer you were hoping for, but you grow. And you get something better out of it. And you don't necessarily, unless you're conscious, sometimes you go through the journey and it's painful, but when you know that something is going to arise and you know that worry is a wasted emotion, it prevents you from going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, 100%. And so I with everything, and I know we talked about the email leak that the A-list went through last year.
So you're just talking about being a Jew in church.
Being a Jew in church. So
and I didn't know we talked if this is about something you're comfortable.
So last year. It was, after October 7th, I really became this like found Jew where I wasn't really, I always identified as Jewish, but I didn't feel as connected to all the Jews. And I don't know, I just was a Jew. I just was a Jew.
It was a rebirth. It was your born again moment.
And then October 7th happened and I was like, oh my God, I had never really experienced anti-Semitism, all these things that in the aftermath of October 7th and just seeing how the world felt about us. And then couldn't go back to work for 2 weeks, felt no one understood what I was going through. I was really grieving hard. Anyway, the whole thing was fucking wild. And I just had to tell myself, and I remember I went to Aspen, I'm on the phone with Carrie Gaynor, and he was like, you have to have faith. Everything is going to work out. You're in it right now. And I really, even though I was struggling.
It's growth. That is growth. It's heartbreaking.
And I just had to tell myself, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to come back stronger, and I have to have faith that everything is going to be okay. I have a big heart. I have all the right intentions. I want peace. I want love. And I don't want hate being spread. My heart's in the right place. And I've been giving back like my whole life, my whole career. It's always just been part of my DNA to support communities that need support.
I want to unpack this first thing.
Yeah,
So
let's unpack.
You say October 7th happens and you don't know what happened to you. You were suddenly struck with an enormous amount of grief. Now, I remember this period for you.
Yeah.
And so I want to touch on that a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
so do you think that maybe at one point in your life you were isolated and it was just Ashlee's bubble and Ashlee's world? And then when you realize that these people who you're ultimately connected to, because as you know and I know, we're all energetically connected. Whether we're Jews or not, we are all energetically connected. So these are your brothers and sisters in Israel. So do you think it was instead of erratic, instead of being an erratic behavior, do you think it was more a connected behavior?
Yeah, 100%. It was like
Where's the
really
love?
upset with humanity.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. But there's so much hate out there. There's so much mean, hateful things happening.
We all have something to lose. Well, as long as we're alive, we've got something to lose. As long as there's breath in us. But I mean, there's that archetype of somebody who wants to make a change, of somebody who struggles, has a fall, and then comes back.
I struggle with it because I have a lot to say. I want to say a lot. At the same time, I represent brands.
I understand.
And
you are a marketing machine, and you have to be careful.
I don't know if these brands want me sharing my beliefs. They
probably don't. They want you to do your job.
They don't. They want me to do the job. They want me to gift everyone, work with everyone.
And sometimes you do have to be your own leader, your warrior, because if you're like, I don't know who you look up to, but I have a few teachers that I look up to, and it's always nice to ask them, but in the end, you are your own teacher.
Yeah, I
right.
mean, look,
especially you do the work, so the answer is in you. The answer is in your gut.
No, I like standing for something. I do want to be vocal, but I also, I don't know, it's hard. I have to be careful.
Well, there are other ways of presenting your point of view.
Yeah. And I do the work. We just did the fire relief, and I work with Step Up.
That was, first of all, I worked for you for a bit.
Yeah, you were an amazing volunteer.
I will tell you this. You have to have energy. You have to create your own energy in order to give other people your energy.
Yeah.
Because it's a killer.
Yeah.
Like, people were walking into your office a couple of days after the fire and just falling apart, and you had to be there for them. Let's talk about the thyroid cancer.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what is your underlying belief system in the medical system, our current medical system.
Well, I'm choosing to live with the thyroid cancer. I'm not taking it out.
Right.
So, and my doctor said, look, in Asia, we have found that they were doing autopsies on all these people that lived past 100, and they saw that many of them had thyroid cancer. So they have stopped in Asia because thyroid cancer is very slow growing, and they found that it's not necessarily killing you. Now, I'm sure if it's like a massive thyroid cancer, it is, but they've started that in Asia. Now, the U.S.
always takes everything out. They always opt to cut.
And my doctors were like, look, we're doing these trials. We're not removing thyroid cancers like we used to. It's such a slow growing cancer. Mine is so small. I found mine. I went for 2 years doing all these different scans at Cedars. And then I see a woman who has a machine called a Sonocine in Santa Monica. Her name's Jasmine. And she focuses on boobs because 50% of mammograms are missing breast cancers. I'd have to burp. Hang on. I would burp into the mic and be gross.
She's so sexy, folks.
So 50% of mammograms are missing breast cancers. She has a machine that detects more through dense breast tissue than a traditional mammogram. So I see her for my boobs. And then one day I was like, I have this little pain around my neck. Will you use your machine on my neck? She found it in 1 second. Then I called my doctor. I'm like, I did this Sonocine with this woman, Jasmine. He's like, it's so small. I don't think it's anything, but if you want to biopsy it, we will. Biopsied it, and it was thyroid cancer. It's so tiny. Meanwhile, it's shrinking.
So, right. So I have, exactly.
So I do my sauna.
Sometimes it's going to go away anyway, and they get it so early.
Yeah. I do my sauna. I do my lymphatic. I do my massages.
That's all for the thyroid.
No, I mean, look, I was doing all that before, but I've taken it up a notch with the thyroid cancer. Since I found out I have thyroid cancer, I look at it as like a knock. Like, hey, Ashlee, you need to...
a wake-up call.
A wake-up call. Like, slow it up, because I like to work hard and play hard. So I pulled back my playing, my partying, dialed back the partying. To be honest, I like hardly even go to dinner anymore. Like I'm going to dinner with friends tomorrow night. I'm like, I don't think I've gone out to dinner in 6 months, which is a little too long. I'm home
might just
every
be over
night.
It, Ashlee. I mean,
no, I'm not over it. I'm just, I don't know how to like go out and not have a drink and then not smoke pot and like not eat all the bread. Like I don't have willpower.
So this is the best way for you to keep it under control.
I need to come home. And I also, because I'm gone from my kids all day, I also I want to come home and be with my kids.
I get it.
So it's a combo of like being a better mom and also taking care of myself. But the thyroid cancer was definitely like a wake up call. Because when I'm throwing these big parties, I'm often like partying too. Like I'm like, all right, let's take your pictures. Then I'm like, shots, joints, like let's do it. Like,
having fun.
I love to party. Like I grew up in a family of partiers.
Me
like
too.
my parents were hippies.
I
Like,
remember when I was smoking a lot.
yeah.
You're like,
My
my
dad-
dad smokes weed. I'm setting you up. This
Oh
was
yeah.
Before he was married.
Oh my God, yes.
We were kids.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was a kid.
Yes. So yeah,
Not as much as you, but still a kid.
I come from like, my dad ran a big company, very hard worker, but he still is a stoner. So I came from that like work hard, play hard. It's how I've always been. But the thyroid cancer is like, okay. Also, I've become, I don't want to say neurotic, very conscious about what I put on my skin, what I put in my body, all the oils. I think that all these young girls come in my office that cannot get pregnant. I'm telling you, all of them. And I'm like,
I think it's like 1 in 3 under 12.
all of them sit there and they're telling us about their fertility struggles. And I'm like,
do you think it's hormone block? Do you think the hormone blockers,
I think
the plastics,
oils,
oils.
plastics. I think the oils and all the alternative milks. I think the oils are in everything. The ultra processed food. Yes. The microplastics.
The microplastics are killer.
All of it.
And it's affecting the men terribly too.
Oh yeah.
They just don't. They're not as quick to know. The men. The first thing you think about is the woman can't get pregnant. Then you go over to the men and check it out. But it seems like
it's really fucked up. So, yeah, I love taking good care of myself.
I mean, and when we were growing up, everyone was getting pregnant. I mean, there was not a lack of pregnancy problem. There was a too many abortion problem.
Yeah, none of these girls can get pregnant
and they're
anymore.
In their 20s.
Yeah. And everyone's doing fertility.
Which, by the way, that scares me too.
Scares me.
I don't want to put hormones in my body. No. Not in that level.
Like, you need to go, everyone that I know that goes to fertility, then I tell them to go to Panchakarma and go do like an Ayurvedic
in
cleanse.
India, Panchakarma?
Or at Surya Spa and spend $1 trillion a day at the proper hotel. But I've been doing Panchakarma with this woman, Marta Sofer, who does Panchakarma at Surya Spa at the proper, which you should go to.
I would love to. How many days does she do?
You could do however many.
So I would
suggest if you could do like 5 to 10 days. And it's unbelievable, and it's the most detoxifying.
I should go to India together and really do the Panchakarma.
I want to. I also want to fast. Everyone.
I do it all the time.
I want to fast.
Do you do it?
I never have. I want to, but I don't even know how to take off 3 hours of work. To do this is a lot for me.
It has to be so serious because the real fasting for like,
it's like day 3,
there are 2 things I want to talk to you about. So one is the fasting, which is the dry fast. It's called the Phoenix fast. People have to tape their mouths together at night because you don't want to dehydrate. The only way that your body can take in even water is through a bath. You can't even drink water.
I don't know if I could.
They do it from if you're sick enough, you could.
Yes, thank you. Let's not take me
from
there.
From day 9 to 11. I think 11 is the max. They say you're almost close to death anyway, but it starves the cancer.
Yeah.
The other thing I love, and it doesn't work for everybody, but for me, it would be something I would run to, is the Kambo, the frog, the African frog, where they put the blisters on your body. Are you familiar with this?
I'm not that. I've heard of it, but I don't know a ton about it.
So they're putting frog toxins. Like imagine putting a snake toxin in your body. Mm-hmm. They put these little blisters with fire. They cut them open and they put a poison on you. So your body convulses and you kill anything that's in your body that shouldn't be growing naturally. A lot of people don't like it. It's a very scary experience. There's no psychoactive component.
It's funny. There's the frog and there's the toad.
The toad is a psychoactive.
Right.
The sode is the bufo alvarius. That's the one you're talking about. That's the DMT, 5-MeO DMT half-hour experience. Blows your mind open.
Fuck.
For me, it's the crown jewel. If you want to know somebody, I know the best.
The chicken Malibu?
No, I know a chicken Malibu. I know them all.
Okay.
I know a chicken Malibu who does the Cambo.
Okay.
And she's well known in this area for that. But it's like that's like doing a fast. So I like doing everything in combination. I like doing Eastern, Western. I like doing what I feel is working for me.
I did the leeches too. Not through the asshole. I did it through the...
I've only heard about the ones in the vagina.
Not in the vagina. I did it in the belly button.
Got it.
There's a girl who does
Russian
that
girl?
in the Palisades.
Was she Russian?
Maybe. I don't know what happened though to the Palisades. I don't know if she's still there, but yeah, I got to check in on her. But I did
a lot of them believe in it. Look,
yeah,
why not?
I like it all.
What do you got? What do you got to lose?
I like it all. I'm like, give it to me. I love it all. I love health and wellness. I love trying everything.
Sometimes these things are just like sort of like a little reminder to watch out for yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Sometimes I don't even really take the time for myself unless I'm in a session with someone else. I'm not really good at like meditating on my own.
I like the energy of other people as well.
I need someone else to walk me through a meditation, whether I'm doing acupuncture with Iris or deep breathing with my yoga teacher. Like I do need that help. It's so hard for me to turn my mind off.
Well, that's a good lesson for young girls because I think that they say, I can't meditate. And I get it. That's why I thought Unplugged was such a great concept.
Yeah.
Do you remember Unplugged?
Yeah, are they still around?
I don't know. I think she has 1 or 2 places left, but I'm surprised it didn't take off like a Soul Cycle. We're just not ready. We're just entering the age of Aquarius. It's not like we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But it is, these younger kids are way more aware.
Yeah.
They're way more connected universally.
Yeah.
I think they understand the language more. Like when we were growing up, telling someone to love themselves, they were like, huh? Whoa, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But I think our kids have a better grasp on what to love oneself means.
Yeah.
And how valuable that is.
Well, also I think that mental health is like blown up. So then they were forced to come up with coping mechanisms. I mean, I don't know if we were all struggling. I think that the social media has made this young generation
it was a different struggle.
Because they're seeing all these rich people, all these hot people, the G-strings, the bikinis, the boats, the fabulous life.
Everyone's getting along with their boyfriend. They have love every day.
Yeah, they're putting the music
they're
to the
skinnier
thing,
than
bullshit,
you. Right.
The bullshit you see on social media. I think that's fucked everybody up. The FOMO of I'm not there. So I see how there's been the rise for this young generation in mental health. So yeah, now they need to really find the tools to love themselves. I think one of the tools is like, stop going on social media.
The good news for people like us is that you and I have so many friends who've been through it. So while we're pioneers, we have a lot of people we can lean on.
Yeah.
Right? Like life nobody gets out of this thing alive,
Yeah.
and nobody gets through it unscathed.
Yeah. My friend just said to me, a friend I was visiting last week, he was like, Ash, it means you made it. Once people start talking about you, it's people bring down people at the top. I'm like doing his weird accent. But
Is he a New Yorker?
Yeah. He's a full New Jerseyer. And he was just like, yo, Ash, you made it. People are talking about you. It means you made it. And he was like, and get ready. It's going to happen again and again and again. And I was like, oh my God, I can't have this happen again. But then I have the Carrie Gaynor in my voice, like just have faith. I'm a good person. I know I am. I believe in what I do. I believe in what I preach. Not everyone's going to like me. That's something I have to get used to.
As
not
long as
everyone's
your
going to
heart
like me.
and your head are aligned, right? Yeah. It helps you stay the course.
Yeah.
And
but I'm sensitive.
Field,
it's hard. It's hard when there's people out there saying crazy shit about me that's so untrue.
But it bounced off. And that's what having a big auric field does, right? They can't penetrate it. Ultimately, they didn't penetrate. Yeah. They just made you stronger.
Look, again, once you, as my dad says, I have a lot of exposure now that I have 35 employees. I'm in a world of social media, working with everyone who has a platform, and I'm vulnerable for sure. So, look, I just have to keep being me.
I think that
I'll always give back. It's always
authentic.
Be authentic.
Stay authentic.
And not and there's always going to be haters. And I feel bad for celebrities. I'm like, God, now that I've been through like the ringer and had a
still want that talk show?
I don't. I'm not smart enough to have a talk show.
It's
I can't really.
ridiculous.
I'm like smart but a little stupid. I can't really talk about issues, and I'll just get stumped and be clowned. Yeah, I would be canceled and clowned if I had a talk show now. Like, there's no way. But
perhaps not. You don't know.
But I think about all these actors, and I'm like, what they go through on a daily basis with all the haters, and I have so much more sympathy. Like, when I went through it, I was calling some actor friends, and they were like, "This ain't shit. Like, welcome to the world
to the big leagues,
hate."
So when a young girl comes to work for you or wants to apply to you or asks advice of you, like, what would you say is the paramount advice you would give somebody who's you 20 years ago?
I made a lot of sacrifices when I was young. Look, I was at a lot of fun parties and traveled. I mean, I did the damn thing, but at the same time, I missed a lot of dinners, lunches, parties. Like, I just worked. And I think if you want to get ahead, you have to work your motherfucking ass off. If you want to be a boss, if you want to have a business, if you want to have a big title, work. The 9 to 6 thing, that is some bullshit.
You're saying it's a 24-hour.
It's like, I don't say it's 24 hours.
I understand, but you're always who you are.
But like, you have to work hard. Everything is competitive. I mean, work. Like, it's not all fun. And I remember like crying. Like, my old boss was like, I couldn't go to some cool Tommy Hilfiger thing with my girlfriend that she invited me to. And I was like, She's like, no, you need to stay here and work. And when I started my own company, I was working 24/7. And I think that this young generation thinks that things come quickly and easily. And even now, I've had the A-list for 25 years, and I am grinding, I think, just as much today as I always have. I never take my foot off the gas, ever. Even every vacation, I'm working. I mean, and that sucks.
What does that do for your husband and your family?
It's hard. It's a sacrifice. I mean, my husband's like, hello, like, I am, he's horny. He's ready to go. He's revved up. And after a full day, and he's like, you're lucky I want to fuck you. He's like, not all my friends want to still fuck their wives. You are lucky.
That's right.
And I'm like, no, I appreciate that you do. But I am so spent after the grind all day in the output, coming home to 3 boys. And then at the end of the day, he's like, knock, knock, knock. I'm like, oh my God, I got nothing left for you. So it takes a toll on the relationship. I just worked at Coachella for 2 days. I came home on Sunday. I was such a shit mom on Sunday. My boys wanted to run around. I could hardly get out of bed. I was like, let's go to the movies. So it's a sacrifice and a balance. But it's.
But do the kids appreciate it? Do you think that they're growing up with that kind of
they will.
good value?
I think yes, 100%.
They'll have work values. Like that's it. Look, Janine worked. I've never seen anyone work like Janine. I mean, I don't talk to you as much as I do to her, but she's calling me in the morning when she's going in, and at 10 o'clock she's still not finished, and I go, where'd it come from? And she said, I've always had this work ethic.
I've always had it too. I've always had it too. And I feel like work makes me happy, but I do struggle with what I'm missing. I do struggle with missing games, missing like I don't pick up my kids from school. I mean, I actually, like yesterday I took my kid in the middle of the day to go bowling, and I was like, this is pretty awesome.
It's only awesome when you don't have to do it every day.
Right.
I promise you, Ashlee.
Right. But no, look, you know what? There's no balance. There's no perfect. Right. Like I do mourn the things that I miss with my family.
The balance is when you feel that you're doing it okay and you're doing what you can.
And I'm happy. Like
that's the balance.
Work fulfills me. It fuels. It fulfills. And
nobody
fuels.
would ever want to take that away from you.
I love it.
And they couldn't.
And you know what? My kids are going to be off to school. I'm sending my oldest to boarding school. Maybe all of them go to boarding school. Before you know it, they're all gone. So then I'll still have the A-list, So I remember when I met my husband's like family, like a lot of the wives, his cousins' wives were like, we regret we quit working when we got married. We regret it because now our kids are grown and we don't feel we have a purpose.
What do you think this podcast is? What do you think my tech company is? I missed all that time because no balance, only parenting.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, most women you meet have the reverse experience.
Yeah.
They're sitting here with their daughter about to graduate, like, what happened to those?
You can't have it always. I mean, there's
just have to find a way to be happy and resolve in what you've done.
Have resolve with it. And I do, but yes, I do have moments of, I wish I was at that. I wish I could be a part of that. But at the end of the day, I love the A-list. I love what I've built. I love
Can you believe you've built that?
I don't even know what I've built. I'm like I haven't even stopped to look and reflect.
And to enjoy it.
But I love walking in we have so many laughs all day. I love being there. I have so much fun. I never work from home. I want to be there. I have FOMO when I'm not there.
The energy is great.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday I did work from home half the day and I did a mask and I was on a Zoom with a client and they're like, "Are you in a robe and a mask?" And I was like, "Do you mind?" And they're like, "No, that's why we love you." I was like, "Well, I got to be home today." So,
well, you've created quite a niche. You got a huge name in this town. People love you.
Thank you.
After the fire, I can't tell you how often your name would come up as having helped and called and ran to dinners, and even while this was going on. So you don't put yourself first. So whatever people may have thought about that email.
That came up in my ayahuasca journey was stop putting other people before you. Put yourself first. I had a bunch of purges and diarrheas on those voices of you need to prioritize yourself, actually.
You do.
Yeah.
And so the lessons keep coming and you're open to them.
Yeah.
And I think what you've created is amazing. I love being in there. Sometimes I just walk in to see Ginny and I'm feeling bad. She goes, "Come in here. You love the way it feels."
Yeah.
I go, "You know what? Maybe I will."
Yeah.
And all I need is 15 minutes. And
it's so cool.
The energy comes from the top down.
That's cool.
It really does. And I wanted you on here, I think, primarily just to be a normal person on this podcast that has a spiritual side and it's working for them.
Yeah.
Because most people we have are out there. They've seen UFOs, they've been abducted,
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. No. We have
a
a lot of esoterica. It was really important to get somebody who's grounded.
Yeah.
Who's successful.
Yeah.
Who has a real life and is dealing with real people, but also has a deeply spiritual belief system.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get my partner to be a little more spiritual. That's another story. She's a good balance for me. We're the yin and the yang.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah, and it's funny. My husband
and put some shit behind her.
Yeah,
it's just
my partner and my husband are both, hardcore, hardworking, a little more serious. And look, it's why I'm married to him.
She's more traditional.
Yeah, it's why she's my partner. It's why he's my partner.
Exactly. You know what to surround yourself with.
Yeah, my mom and dad are two of the same people, got married, and then they sobered up, and they were like, "We're the same. We don't work together."
You need the polarity in the relationship.
Yeah,
and if and people who have that intuition, they know who's going to support and who's not.
Yeah. And I will say you have to check out Well Soul. It's Casey Crown, Jackie Leonardini. Check them out. Go to their workshops. They're amazing. They see color around you. They're healers, wheelers, dealers, chakras, all the things. And
anyone else you think that my listeners might want to follow?
I mean,
because they're all into this.
Carrie Gaynor, the hypnotherapist. He's unbelievable.
Changed my life.
Fucking love him. And
Can I tell you one story
he's best
here?
on text.
I don't text with him. Came to LA and I started vaping essential oils. Nasty.
Weird.
And I got highly addicted.
Weird.
And I was going to Africa.
Is that, I've never heard vaping essential oils, but that's what vaping is then. I've never heard anyone add on.
It's not.
What
it's
is that?
Just an addition. You can vape weed, you can vape tobacco. I don't know but this was, I had an alchemist making me special oils, nasty stuff. And I started coughing. Then I was going to Africa, and I'm like, I can't stop the vaping. One session with Carrie. Now, I went to him about a bunch of other stuff, trying to, just working with him, and I love him.
Yeah.
But one hypnosis session, I was in bed for 4 days. I was just sort of blacked out and never touched the stuff again.
Wow.
He was powerful.
Yeah.
But some people are are more susceptible.
Yeah.
And
he generally says it's like 3 to 4 sessions for smoking.
Right.
I see him for everything. I see him for marriage. I see him for about the relationship.
And does he do hypnosis with you?
Yeah, but the hypnosis in the end is I mean, I know the whole thing by heart, but yeah, he just like puts my head on straight.
I get it.
Puts my head on straight. So I'll plug him. I'm obsessed with Lisa Gainsley for lymphatic massage, which is not cheap. She does house calls. I'm obsessed with Iris Tans, who's my belching acupuncturist, who's unbelievable. And she's like moves around the stagnation and will like a crazy belch and just barfs all over you.
What do you mean?
Like she's like, does the needles and then she does body work and she's like,
Got it.
and she's like pushing out the stagnation.
I got it. Like the mold, whatever's getting mildew in there, she's clearing it. Got it.
And my sister's breath work, I think she's taking a little break, but she's, I think she's at Carly Jo Carson. She's like the queen of the Topanga scene and just the coolest and an artist and the coolest. But her breath work is unbelievable.
What's her name?
So it's Carly Jo Carson is her name. And I think the Instagram is at Carly Jo or at the Carl Jungle. I think it's at the Carl Jungle. And I'm obsessed with yoga. I love Tom Morley's flow. I love doing yoga with a guy named True. I love Kyle Miller yoga.
What about Vitas? Have you done yoga with Vitas?
No.
Oh, he's great.
No.
And what about, have you, and you used to be into the Kundalini. You still do the Kundalini?
I know how powerful Kundalini is. And I know that for me, especially with the thyroid cancer, I need to be doing it. And I have not been doing it. The thing is, I need most of my workouts to be at my home.
Got it.
And I need someone to either come to the house. I don't know. It's hard because I like to be at work at 9 a.m., but I like to be at home with my kids when they're getting ready. So a lot of I have a boxing guy, Calvin. I have Hot Peter, the trainer. I've got all these people and they come at 5:36.
That's what I do.
So I don't know. It's
if
like
you
hard
need
to go
any
to a class.
Kundalinis, I can always have them come to you. Oh, no, they do the privates too.
Yeah, I think I do because I need to clear that.
Yeah.
That's like all thyroid stuff.
It's all the sixth chakra, the fifth chakra, and you want to just.
Everyone is like, for your thyroid cancer, it'd be really good to do Kundalini.
I have Hashimoto.
For that, you should also see Marta at Surya Spa and go to the proper hotel and do Panchakarma with her.
I'm totally down with Panchakarma. I'd rather go with you to India to do it.
I know, me too.
There might not be any time for that, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Mac Daddy.
Yeah, I know. I would die to do that, but I don't want to. I'm leaving my kids all day, and then I'm throwing parties. I'm about to go to Stagecoach in New York for the Met and all these fucking things, and like then I come home. It takes me 2 days to recover from traveling and then partying. So I don't know. I got to figure out the India thing. Maybe when they're all at sleepaway. And I love the ranch. We work with the ranch, which is
that's right.
hiking retreat.
Yes, it's the
and
best.
That, I like cry. I have like crazy gratitude there. So much self-reflection. So it's the ranch Malibu.
Do you think it's the lack of food?
No, because they feed you there. No, I think it's being in nature, being unplugged, pushing yourself to do these hikes, bonding with strangers, all sharing. By day 3, you're all sharing your stories. Everyone's got a story, no matter how privileged. Everyone's got a story that you can relate to that's heartbreaking. And doing these hikes with these people and then just finishing the hike, being unplugged, being in nature, taking in the nature around you.
The value of nature. And I think that's a big part of our disconnectedness. We're no longer connected to nature.
Yeah.
And that's what kept us grounded. And that's what kept our third eye open. And now that's all closed. Like our third eyes are calcified.
Yeah. I mean, I watch my kids, they get in the car, they're on the phone, they're not. I'm like, are you even looking at the surroundings? Are you even taking this in? I mean, that's a whole different conversation. But when you do the ranch, you don't bring your phone on the hikes. You're really unplugged. Another reason why I love Burning Man. Do you go to Burning Man?
No.
You're fucking out of your mind that you don't go.
Do you go every year?
Yeah, when I can.
Are you going next year? Maybe I'll go.
100%. It is the most.
You take the kids?
No, we will 1 year.
Right.
But it's a chance for Dan and I to go and do our thing together.
And he needs a little time with his wife.
Yes. 100%. It's super bonding. You'll meet a dude in 2 seconds.
I will?
Everyone's so vulnerable. They're open. They're not on their phones. They're listening. There's music. There's art. You have to hug. Every person you meet, you have to hug. That's like the rule.
I've resisted it. Maybe the heat.
Oh my God.
Steak?
It's the most.
Okay.
unbelievable. Like
I'll try anything, Ashlee.
Cry when I come back. Like it is adult euphoria, adult camp. It's all adults. There's AA meetings everywhere. Not everyone's. It's people think it's like, and now Instagram has also made it like it's just influencers, but it's not. It's people making connections. It's people sharing. It's people giving. It's creating. It's a whole culture that exists just on sharing and giving and loving. There's great music and art.
Respect of
everywhere.
land.
Respecting the land. You can't leave a trace of anything anywhere. There's undercover cops everywhere. It's very safe. And everyone has to come.
It seems like a beautiful experience.
Everyone has to come bringing a gift. Your gift, it's a gifting economy. It's all about giving and sharing. My gift is that I bring this sage spray from the ranch and I go deep into the playa, which is where all the art is, and I spray the porta potties.
Oh, you
so
clear
when
it
people
out.
are
You
deep
clear it out.
and they're like, oh my God, I named myself Playa Sage. They're like, Playa Sage. Like people are like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to go in the porta potty. And there I am. And I open it up and I'm spraying it for people. And then they're like, thank you so much. That was such a gift. And my husband's like, of course, my wife has the one nasty fucking thing where we have to sit at the porta potties and spray them. And I'm like, you know,
drag him when
high
you
on
do
whatever.
your job?
Yeah. I'm like, Playa Sage, let's go. Like my drugs hit and I'm like, Playa Sage, let's go. And so we ride out on our bikes to find the porta potties and for an hour. And then I'm like, you guys leave. I'll be here. Just come back in an hour. And I just spray all the porta potties.
That's
and
great.
people are like, oh my God, thank you. It's pretty fun. It's amazing.
Well, I think you're amazing.
Well, I think you're amazing. I'm so proud of you.
How long I've known you and how amazing you are.
I love your spiritual journey. Good for you.
It's been a big one.
It's really hard to find the spirituality in this crazy world and stay centered.
You go through the kind of shit I've gone through. You find it somehow because it's your only way to survive.
Yeah, good for you.
You know, what I've been through, it's been hell and back. But I'll tell you, I have gratitude for every moment.
Yeah, it's the gratitude. We have to have gratitude.
Even the way things turned out with Ren. Like, I love him so much, and I'm grateful because with him came so many lessons. He's my greatest teacher. He's my greatest teacher. But I have girlfriends like you that really keep me grounded and are really, you say you're not smart, but I think smart comes from living well.
Mm-hmm. I don't mean I'm not smart. I know I'm smart, but I'm not like book smart. Academic smart. I'm like, that takes a second seat. That takes a back seat to being hard smart. Mm-hmm. I'm happy. That's what matters.
And sage, and that is the key to the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to the kingdom.
Fuck smart. I'm happy.
Lead with your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashlee, for coming
thanks
on.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to air this.
Me too. When does it air?
Probably 3 weeks.
Okay, great.
I'll call you first, and
we'll plug it. We'll do the plug.
Oh my God,
we'll do the whole thing.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Mwah.
Mwah.